very, very far removed from anything that she's ever dated before. He's goofy looking. He can't really dress. He sounds like a nerd. He looks like he watches anime and does all this goofy shit. Like, he looks like the type of guy that somebody would be like, oh, he's a good guy. He's safe. He's not a gangster. He doesn't do jewelry.
Hello, everyone. What's going on YouTube? I wanted to put in my 2 cents, not necessarily directly on Megan Thee Stallion and the whole Klay Thompson situation itself, but more generally just how people feel when it comes to celebrities. But mostly this is going to be on the women, as far as just idolization and who they follow when it comes to relationships, and how I feel like they focus on the wrong type of women when it comes to relationships. So, yes, but I would like to state first that yes, men can also pick the wrong type of people when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, or to follow behind. You know, with the whole red pill stuff, you know, some things, yeah, the red pillers say can be good for men, but a lot of things that red pillars and stuff do and say, they're definitely hypocrites and stuff on, and they're doing it to sell you a dream and to pay for their own homes and dreams. So they're basically using men a lot. So it is different, you know, the same type of deal, I think, but in a different way when it comes to men versus women, and when it comes to who we look up to and who we look at when it comes to relationships. Like, so for instance, with the women on the cases of, you know, relationships and stuff, and the whole, you know, Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson situation, you have a lot of women on TikTok that had discussed it. This on Megan's side, and I can't understand it whatsoever. The parasocialness when it comes to the whole situation and how they view relationships, like with Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B, you know, in relationships. They don't pick men very well. I'm gonna just say that. They don't pick men very well. There's some women, just like this woman from TikTok, you can see here.
That, okay, you go for him because those are usually the nice guys that don't really get attention from women.
A couple of things that she did say in this video is just weird to me. Like, the fact that you don't know Megan Thee Stallion at all, typically too much, but just know her songs and music and stuff like that, to where you would say that, you know, trying to make fun of Klay Thompson, saying that he's a nerd and he doesn't look like the, you know, typical hood guy and stuff like that. Where you haven't paid attention to Klay Thompson either, because Klay Thompson isn't an innocent person, nor is he the type of guy you probably would think of to settle down. A lot of sports athletes typically are those who just are womanizers. They go after so many different women and stuff. Sports athletes especially, though, but you know, it's a lot of them that are just dogs as it is. So they both should have known what it is at the beginning. The fact that they both didn't really display, because that's, I think, what the issue is. She wants to make it really official and be solidified in the relationship to reach the goal of marriage. I think Megan. But Klay Thompson, he wants to have that open type of relationship. He just doesn't want to be with just Megan. He wants to be out and be, you know. I think that's where the issue is, and the fact that y'all didn't establish this when y'all first was dating, I think, is a major issue for both. But on Megan's side, if you're looking for something more, you're looking for that marriage, y'all need to vet each other to make sure y'all are on the same page when it comes to that. That y'all are looking for the same thing. That y'all both have the same type of goals and stuff like that. If y'all don't, then you shouldn't be messing around or stuff like that. I don't understand why that wasn't established at the beginning. And maybe if it was, and people change their mind. People do change their mind. They have different opinions and they do change their mind. That can be the case. But this is just something just y'all need to discuss and talk about a lot more. It needs to be very much open. I think it was open, and you were just upset by his answer. It's what it kind of sounded like to me. People, I feel like, just be making up stuff, just me doing whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. But this topic is, is just around that, but also just with Cardi B, wrong person to try to look up to when it comes to relationships. She can't hold a marriage nor hold a relationship well. And people call them the WAP queens. They're definitely doing horrible. But I'm like, why don't we look at the best, or people who do relationships and stuff very well. People who are in long lasting relationships. People who have been together for multiple amount of years. And there's a lot of celebrities that have been together and been married for years. One of them being Angela Bassett and Courtney B. Vance. They've been married for a long time. I think since the 90s. Why not look to Angela Bassett and see her as a woman, a positive role model to be behind, and who is married, to try to use your life to be like, hey, this is the type of marriage and stuff I want to be around to be with. I know Courtney B. Vance isn't like the top of the meal of actors and stuff like that, and Angela Bassett seems like she's a whole nother level than he is, but they have their relationship. Their relationship has been working for years, and they have their dynamics and stuff of what they deal with, and what they're willing to put up with, and what they're willing to not. They know, their boundaries and stuff like that. So, why not look up to Angela Bassett as, black woman, to look up to another black woman as far as just relationship goes? I think Angela Bassett would be really good of a person to look up to. Another one would be LaTanya Richardson Jackson, Samuel Jackson's wife. Samuel Jackson and LaTanya, they both are married. They've been married since the 80s. So, that's another couple. People probably don't even know who LaTanya is, but she is also an actress. She's also an actor. She's been acting in stuff for years. She's still acting in different stuff. But she's not as popular as Samuel Jackson. So, people don't tend to look at her heavily, but they have a strong and long built relationship. And they're both in Hollywood, and the acting scene is just, and they don't get into a whole bunch of stuff as much as, all these other, social media celebrity singers and stuff like that. But their marriage been working well for over 40 years. For over 40 years, they've been having a strong built relationship. So I don't understand why not look to her. I think Samuel Jackson and LaTanya are on the flip side when it comes to Courtney B. Vance and Angela Bassett, because, of the ones who are popular over the other type of deal. Where the man is popular with Samuel Jackson and the woman's popular with Angela Bassett on their relationships. But they still make it work, no matter who is the most popular, or who makes the most money, or who. It doesn't matter. It's the relationship of what they. It's love, I really think, when it comes around to it, and how they deal with each other in love, and the boundaries and stuff they're willing not to take. All that takes into account, and they're good examples, I think, of celebrity, to look up to when it comes to marriage. I know this isn't the best, because people tend to talk about their relationships and stuff as well. But Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, I think they've been together for a long time. I think since the 90s as well. And I know they are not the top of the mill of celebrities to look up to, that people think of. But they have a strong relationship. Michelle has her podcast and stuff. Barack still does whatever Barack does. But, they're still married. They still are together. They're still holding strong. So, hey. But there's a lot of celebrities in relationships where they've been together for a long time that you can look to as far as just, everything goes, whether it's LL Cool J or Spike Lee or Blair Underwood, they have black relationships where they've been together with their partners for years. Why not look to these celebrities and stuff as far as just people you will want to be like, hey, I want to see what you're doing and what works, and kind of pick your brain when it comes to marriages and stuff. That way I can try to, emulate and kind of think of like the same type of thing, so I can try to make marriage and my marriage and stuff work. Because people used to look at the old heads when it comes to relationships and stuff. Because they usually, especially those who've been together for over 25, uh, 20 years, people look to them, I used to look to them as far as just, some people 30 years, 40 years. They used to look up to the older heads as far as just everything goes of just, hey, y'all are the ones we should be looking up to. And that's something I don't understand why people go towards like your Cardi B's and, your Megan Thee Stallions for relationships and what a perfect relationship you're trying to look at. When they're not good examples themselves of holding relationships or just being partners in general. They've never shown good pics, nor have they ever shown good size of themselves to be good partners a lot heavily. So it's like, it is what it is. Not saying that they ever never find a partner. They will probably find a partner if they try harder to, vet both Cardi and Megan and other celebrities like them. They, if they actually try and actually focus in, I think they would do well as far as this relationship goes. But I feel like they would have to, kind of put the whole social media side down when it comes to pushing that in their relationships heavily, in my opinion. But so I don't think social media and relationships work out too well when that's like a main focus that people try to do. Not saying that it couldn't, but it is what it is though. But those are just my thoughts and everything. Just saying, hey, there's other black celebrities to look up to. That will be better when it comes to marriages and relationships than some of these other ones. As far as just young people, you should be looking towards. But yeah, my 2 cents. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Thank y'all so much. Take care.